Now it's time for the wacky music, among other things, to experience here in the main story dungeon of patch 5.4, Matoya's Relict, which, as you can see, also takes a lot of inspiration from the Great Gooball Library. I mean, for what it's worth, it's not that far from the library. So, there I am, leading the way.
Right.
And hey, Matoya's even along.
I need you to gather a few ingredients.
So that's what they are. We may need them to cure the guy in the purple in the back.
What the Porogos say, or you'll wish you had.
Yeah, you might need to develop a cure for that guy with the freaky purple head in the background. But in any event, away we go. And how appropriate that two of our characters are named Dump Truck and Dirt Trash. Yeah. Incidentally, the guy who's named Purple Dirt Trash is the guy with the freaky purple head. So, this is a very unique dungeon in the sense that after you complete each section, you go back to the start of the dungeon. It's not one continuous long line. You complete your task, go back to the start, and keep looping. Even after you get the opportunity to access the final boss, you do the same thing. In that regard, it makes this perhaps the most unique dungeon in Final Fantasy XIV history. So our lead tank wasting no time getting the opportunity to get a whole bunch of pulls taken care of. In fact, he's going to keep pushing onward. Ow, couldn't find my target. But that's fine, we can deal with what we got. Change directions. I mean, with this kind of music, you would think a place like this would have been perfect for Halloween if All Saints' Wake was a thing this year in Final Fantasy XIV. Sadly, it is not. And away we go. Now we got a whole bunch of Spriggans to deal with. Tank not ready to move yet. Now he's ready to move. Onward, sir, onward. So yeah, speaking of Spriggans, remember this guy with the big riding on the big stone? Well, he's here too. I should be careful though. I noticed an AoE spawned right underneath my feet. And launch. Yeah, that is one huge laser. And launch again. Oop, move to your right. And go. Yeah, the Sonny of Ziggy here is certainly doing a lot perched on that huge rock of his. We gotcha. Away we go, off to mini-boss number 1. Yeah, you'll need to deal with the Mudman first, they say. The Mudman here, mini-boss number 1. This is another very unique boss. Keep your eye on the big bubbles of mud on the edge of the stage. They'll become very important in due time. Yeah, before that happens though, we can just hit him normally, and then when Petrified Peat becomes a move, we're then going to have these little bubbles come onto the field. And then it says drainage system activates. This is important to keep in mind because when this happens, you will automatically be tethered to a bubble of mud. You need to aim it towards one of these little vortexes. If you don't land it right within the vortex, you have what happens to the bard. The thing gets bigger and continues to grow. You have to nail it right within the vortex or else it's gonna not be good. Yeah, thankfully this time he got it right. And for your reward, I give you some Dragon's Gaze. Or Dragon's Sight, rather. Yeah, it took him a few tries to figure it out, but he got it. And this is not the only time this will happen, but when it happens again, there will be a condition. the odds of places that we can go to do away with these bubbles of mud is now halved because you can see there is some blockage going on. Okay, I'm gonna have to take this one to the far end because this is all dependent on momentum. How the bubbles move is all dependent on momentum, and if you're, depending on where you're standing, it could end up going a really bad way for you. So positioning is everything with those things. Get a little altitude. Yeah, so far we're doing very well. Oh, look out. So yeah, now once again we have some of the flows being cut off. We are down to the last 10% though. So we shouldn't be worried too much, but we still need to move them when required. Thankfully this is an easy choice. Even if we take AoE damage, it's not going to be too consequential. Especially since we got the victory. Section 1 is down. So now the Prorogo will take us back to the start of the dungeon. And, as mentioned before, we'll do it all over again, but now in a different area. Next we need to get the water flowing again. So this Prorogo will give us passage to our next area. We're essentially going into a canal next. And it'll include, among other things, this cave gelatin. Yeah, it's not quite like the Final Fantasy IV slimes you've seen before that have been reintroduced here in Final Fantasy XIV. But it's still a giant, huge slime that's really annoying. Plus, it has friends. There we go. Take that. Alright, that first wave is cleared. So now the Prorogo will do us a solid and drop that lift using the power of water. And we just drop down to the next tier. And now we repeat the process. Yeah, try and make sure I can get as much AoE damage on these guys as we're moving. Alright, here we go. Yeah, crash on them. Let's give it everything we got. Yeah, show them how it's done, guys. And then over here. Take this. And there we go. Now we get launched up. Still gotta deal with more of the gelatin. Can I get this off? I can. Good. Yeah, you literally cannot fight this group of enemies by pulling further. You had to clear them out before you could make the advance on this trio. Alright, there goes one. So now we'll have another break on standby when we get to the next mini-boss. I'm gonna leave my Dragon Sight for when we get to it. As well as my Gears Kogel. And so Froggy lowers that panel, that platform. And now we'll take a spring to launch us to the center platform. Where do we find this thing? Nixie. Yeah, it's basically Meryl from Pokemon. Yeah, Nixie is basically a knockoff of Meryl from Pokemon. But a lot more dangerous than Meryl. Yeah, including having that 4-way attack go off. Then, you have to be watching the surroundings, because you want to stay where the light is not on. Anywhere where the light is not on, you'll be safe from that. Now, Nixie will go and run off. And, yeah, Nixie wants more water to play with. But, you Nielsen need to help yourself by trying to launch up to get yourself onto Nixie's cloud, or else you cannot continue fighting it. And if you don't get up there fast enough, you'll soon see why not getting up here is bad. Yeah. All my water is gone. I beg to differ there, Nixie. Check this out. Full-on flood, which will instantly kill you. And then knocks you off of its cloud. And now this Meryl wannabe resumes offense. Jigglypuff, Meryl. Oh! Yeah, that's not Jigglypuff, that's Meryl. Oh! Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting spot to stand. Alright, keeping an eye again on this side. We want to stand over here. But then also we have the Ankthong Geyser treatments from Dawn Meg. Yeah, well now we have that to contend with too. Almost got this thing taken care of. And we gotta run over to the far side, but we won't even need to because this thing's dead basically. Back to the start. Yeah. Now we need to fire up the kiln. So in we go. Yeah, if you thought it was crazy before, where we go next takes it to another level. Welcome to psychedelic San Francisco if it was a volcano. It's the summer of love, but there's no love to be found here. Yeah, good luck finding the summer of love in this place. And you gotta wonder, how hot is the lava if it's colored things like green? Now, how hot would green lava be? Oh, not quite. There we go. We got it. Yeah. Enjoy the spectacle, ladies and gentlemen. But that's not all that can happen. Yeah, this particular Krogo thinks he's Moses. Yeah, he shows off his Moses impression and away we go to our next area. Gotta be careful about things that want to hurt us, though. Yeah, now we're really into the area that emulates Final Fantasy IV slimes. Oh, look out. Yeah, let me jump in on this. Oh! Let's go this way. And launch. Step back a little. And get him right where it hurts. And there we go. And so now time for a little froggy friend to do another Moses impression. And now standing on our way is this thing. Yeah, it can be dragged out of this psychedelic lava. I'm gonna hold off on using the on the dragon site until we get to final boss, because this is the last enemy before the final boss. I will use this though. And there we go. So all that stuff is the final boss. We'll let our Rogo friend do his Moses impression one final time. And now, we have to bear witness to something. And in case you're wondering, is it the arrival of the final boss? The answer is, surprisingly, no. The kiln is now active, but we now have to go back to start. Because as I mentioned before, even after you complete all 3 sections, you still have to go back to the beginning. It's time to bake ourselves a porksy, says Master Matoya, as you are about to see in a moment. So yeah, you think all's well, right? We're about to get this thing going? We have all the ingredients we require.
Let's get this over with.
Do what you must, Master Matoya. Yeah, this thing's steaming like a train, and emerging is this thing. And man, this porksy.
To be difficult. Sure, who's in charge?
Yeah, and with that, we get victory fanfare for getting treasure. But this is the final boss, the Mother Porksy. And yeah, that's not just a name, it's also basically a queen because it has a crown on its head. So let's go and say hello. Yeah, Queen Elizabeth II will probably be jealous of this look. And so away we go. Final boss of Matoya's Relics. Yeah, it even has attack names like Tenderloin. But that's not all it can do, as you will soon see. Yeah, this thing's gonna run off. And yeah, in a case of reversal of character, this Porksy wants to do its big bad wolf impression and huff and puff us backwards. Gotta find the happy medium there and get laying right in that little one patch of safe spot that is not AoE. And now we gotta run over this way to avoid the shockwave. But we're not done there, because now comes the hardest part of the battle. Yeah, I wouldn't get any closer if I were you, because now the Porksy is taking a deep breath and a whole bunch of AoE is coming our way. Any AoE that hits you, you get knocked back by, and if you get too close to her, you instantly get killed. And whenever you get to the second phase of her trying to suck you in, you can't actually gain progress, but thankfully, everyone survived the ordeal. And onward we go. So that was the worst of it. Well, I say it's the worst of it, but the Mother Porksy does have one major trick left. Going into an enrage. Gotta watch out for the cave sprite doing its thing. And then, once you take it out, it'll then implement the explosion ability. And now you gotta check yourself on all sides to see where the Mother Porksy is and run towards it. Because we're about to have another one of these knockback huff and puff moves. And we're all fine. And now we can just focus on the Porksy itself. And now we can really go for it. Yeah, the Porksy itself actually gets beaten up pretty quickly in this fight. It's all the tricks at the start that you have to worry about more than anything else. Yeah, we're shoving this lance right into her rump. Yeah, here's a rump roast for ya. Yeah, we might not even get to double limit break at this rate. We do need to deal with this move one more time. Get Sneeze back. And then go for it. Although we might kill it before I even get this off, and in fact that's exactly what happened, but victory is ours. Yeah. Do we have an understanding now, Mother Porksy? I hope so. And thus victory is ours. But of course we don't want to completely kill the thing. We need this thing to be used as a tool for our progress and developments as far as dealing with the tempering. But in case you guys weren't quite creeped out, that can give you an up-close and personal of what happens after you beat the Porksy. Pay attention. Did you see it twitch? Pay attention. There it goes again. It's twitching. Yeah, it's still alive. It's just twitching a little. Yeah, it's got a bit of reflex action still left in it. But now that we've made it go to bed and put it to sleep, let's be on our way. And so, after our victory, Master Matoya, do what you must. Feeling better now?
There we are, quite tame.
Then all that remains is for me to imbue her with the magic. My friends, I'm afraid I must trouble you for your ether once more.
Do what you must. Yeah, reach out to him. Do your fancy laser ether thing. As they grit their teeth. Alright, Graha, whenever you're ready. Yeah, he had to give it all to control the Porksy. Was he successful?
That should suffice.
Let's hope it does.
Good. Let's set her to work then, shall we? I want to see some Porksies. Assuming that is, someone can spare the requisite energy.
Yeah, we're looking at you, Ashtola.
A mere drop in the ocean for the great sorceress Matoya, I dare say.
Have at it there, Stola. Yes, after we've given it our all yet again. Yeah, that wasn't a blowback. That was breeding.
Excellent.
We have a success.
Our very own litter of Angelos.
Just the beginning, I assume.
And we can make as many more as we want, simply by providing the Mother Porksy with additional ether.
I will require a moment before I try again.
Good idea.
It's still hard work, but a damn sight more efficient than making them one by one. Thank you, Master Matoya. Everyone. We're a step closer to our goal.
Distributed amongst the allied nations, they should do much to facilitate closer dialogue with the beast tribes. And given their present travails, I believe our friends in Limsa Laminsa should be the first beneficiaries.
Good idea. Well, thanks for joining us, Elizabeth.
Though I must leave this errand to you. I doubt my legs will carry me out of the cave, much less to Vilbrand. Thank you for taking the lead in gathering the ingredients. I expect you would benefit from a rest too.
If only it were that easy.
In addition to the Porksies, I trust you've gained an inkling of how much effort goes into the creation of familiars. Or mayhap you attribute your struggles to old age.
In comparison to you?
If I said yes, would it persuade you to treat me like an adult?
Probably not.
Not with that pertness, it wouldn't. Anyway, assuming you have no other favors to ask, I shall be leaving.
Yep, you've done your part. And away she goes, and away we all go. Alright, so let's go ahead and speak with Alphino to complete the quest. Lest you wonder, Master Matoya has returned to a cave with the Stola. They are as peas in a pod, are they not? It certainly seems that way, so let's take our 4,000 gil for completing this quest. And you may now enter Matoya's Relict with a party of NPC avatars.